am 20 weeks out from the Angel Competition Bikinis fashion show. And for those of you that have been in my world for a minute, you're probably wondering, what the hell are you even talking about?
Let's take a step back. For those of you that are new here, my name is Diane Flores. I've been in the health and fitness space for over 17 years. I'm an IFBB bodybuilding pro, which also makes me a professional dieter. And I'm a personal trainer, I'm a health coach, and I have been tracking macros and calories for a very long time. I've been 200 pounds. I have professionally dieted my whole professional bodybuilding life. I've gained weight, I've lost weight, I've been shredded, I have been obsessive, I've hated my body, I now love my body. I've had unhealthy eating behaviors and everything in between.
I am no longer competing in bodybuilding. I've done 16 shows. For those of you that are new here, welcome. I have competed in figure, I've competed in bikini, and eventually got my pro card 4 years ago, and have competed once, and I have had a really tumultuous relationship with competing. The dieting piece of competing is extremely challenging. It is the hardest part of the entire process, in my opinion. And working with women and clients and competitors for 11 years now, this is just a recurring theme. So it is definitely a challenge. Now, I miss competing. I love being on stage. That piece of it is so much fun for me. I love the focus of it. I always would tell my business coaches when I go into contest prep, I feel like my business does better because, and this could be just purely a coincidence, but I find that when I'm competing and very regimented, I have an easier time just sticking to a routine and a schedule in general. I wake up, I have a process, I do all the things, and it just tends to all fall in line. So I have been really feeling, and I'm just gonna be really honest with you guys, I've really been feeling challenged with finding a rhythm being a normal person. But I find it really, really challenging because I have been doing the competition piece of things for so long, my BCAAs are over here, for so long that it is weird to me to not have a goal that hasn't a date. And I know we should all sort of do things and not need to have a date to actually get shit done. But the reality of it is that when we have something that is pulling us towards a goal, it gives us focus, right? It's like when you set out for any endeavor, right? You go to school, go to college looking for a new career, and you have a target in mind. And when you don't have one when it comes to fitness, it can feel like, what am I even doing? For those of us that especially have had goals and compete and things like that. So it's been really, really tough to find a middle ground. The first year after I decided that I wasn't competing was very challenging because I felt lost. I was like, what am I doing? Who am I? I'm a bodybuilder, I'm a competition coach, but I'm not a competitor anymore. And that was just really weird, right? I never stopped doing the things. I never stopped training. I think maybe the most I've taken off in my time since I decided not to compete anymore is maybe a week, right? But it's more or less the day in, day out things that make me feel good, and I know are things that are going to be, helping me as I age. And honestly, I like to look hot naked, okay? Sorry, not sorry. It's the truth. I love to be able to take my clothes off or be in shorts or be in a bikini and just feel healthy and just like I'm not bloated and It's less about the weight on the scale. It's more about how I feel and how I feel in my clothing and how I feel without clothes on. Okay, so here's where we're at. I signed up for the Angel Competition Bikinis fashion show, and I'm really stoked about that. Coach Glitter is doing it with me, so that's gonna be super awesome. We're gonna do it together. And I haven't really made like a formal announcement about the fact that I'm also moving. Now, the competition, or the Angels Competitions fashion show, isn't until October of this year, which is 2024, depending on when you're watching this. In October, right now it is May 25th. I'm exactly 20 weeks from that show, and I'm also moving to Vegas. So that is, there's a lot going on. I'm moving to Vegas. Huge move. That's a whole nother video, an entirely different conversation, but I am going to record a podcast about that. So stay tuned if you're interested. But nonetheless, my goals for this 20 week sort of experience, for this experience are to get back to my consistency with my schedule, with my training schedule. And I feel like it's been all over the place, like I said, for quite some time, but most definitely for the last year. And I am going to bite the bullet and just start doing it first thing in the morning so I can knock it out. Because what's happening is as the business is growing, as the podcast is growing, as the studio has gotten bigger, I have gotten busier, right? And my team has grown and all that, and these are all great things. But the one thing that I know will tend to go to the back burner for me is getting out and doing my workouts. And I had a conversation with my son yesterday, and I was just telling him, you know, I am the product. I'm the brand. I'm basically how we got here, right? Was predicated on my appearance, for the most part, right? Whether you agree or disagree, it really is a fact, right? People were following me because I was incredibly jacked and ripped, and I was doing all these things, and I was a mom, and, you know, and I had this like, you know, fun little like story of my journey. And I miss that to a degree, right? Not necessarily like pressure that I have to look a certain way for the brand, but I do miss a little bit of pressure, right? I think it's good for us to have a little bit of pressure without feeling like we owe anybody anything, because I don't have to do this. I'm doing it really because I want to document it and share it, but I do enjoy the little bit of social pressure that it gives me when I declare a goal and people know, right? It's not like you're going to be hunting me down and be like, bitch, you said you were going to do this thing. Where the hell are you? But nonetheless, I still like having that little bit of social pressure in knowing that I said I was going to do a thing, and I'm very much, you know, a person of my word is huge for me. And so I want to follow through with this, but I didn't want to do this without there being some sort of lesson or bringing you guys along the journey to share with you the ins and outs of what I'm doing, the humanness behind it. And I felt like this particular goal was perfect for where I'm at right now. Let me explain. So because I don't want to do any more strict, crazy, like competition style stuff, like I'm not going to be eating tilapia and asparagus. I'm not going to be taking my meals with me in a Tupperware. I'm not going to do 2 hours of cardio a day, right? That I wanted to showcase the journey as best as I could. One, to just let you guys see that like people who've been doing this for a long time still have struggles. I don't care who you are. I don't care what Olympian you are. I don't care how many shows you've done. You are still fighting some small internal voice, okay? And part of that is the dieting piece for me. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take you along for this 20-week journey. I'm gonna get videos every week, just sort of summarizing where I'm at, how I'm feeling, you know, how the process is going, and update you guys along the way. But more so because this is going to be a very different body goal. So right now I'm 156 pounds, well, 155 155.8. We're just rounding up. I know most people would probably just be like, I'm 155, but the reality of it is I'm closer to 156. So I am up 5 pounds from probably the last time I did a little bit of an update. I was about 151, I want to say. And the past few weeks, I have really just I've been feeling like super ravenous. And I know it's because I just got a testosterone pellet put in. For those of you that don't know, I am on hormonal replacement therapy for quite some time, and I had a pellet put in. So it's a little pellet thingy that's in my hip. You can't even, I mean, you can't see it, but it's in my left hip. And I believe that has really increased my appetite, like ravenously so. So this week is a matter of kind of getting a handle on that, being more aware, being more mindful. You know, I got rid of some stupid stuff that I've been just eating because it's here. My trash out, all right, show you a couple things I got rid of last night because I was just like, why am I eating this stupid shit? We bought that freeze-dried candy. If you've never had freeze-dried candy, don't start, okay? Just don't do it because it's addicting. So I bought some at a farmer's market and I just trashed it because I was like eating it and it was not good. Like I'm just gonna, you know, the dentist is gonna be my next visit if I keep doing that. So what we're gonna do is I'm 156 right now. Essentially, I don't even like to say these words out loud, which is like, I'm in a cut. I hate that. I'm working with Coach Nikki. Okay, so Nikki is a coach that I've worked with before. Her and her husband are both coaches. Fit to Nick, she's an IFBB Pro, and her and I we just gel. Like she is hilarious. She is a little woo-woo like me. She's actually a lot woo-woo, and I love that about her. I believe she's like a medium of some kind. She's not necessarily a psychic, but she does have this sort of energy about her that I love. And she basically just like tells it like it is. And I really appreciate that because I need somebody to tell me what to do. I need an adultier adult to tell me. So that's what she's doing. And I have a meal plan. So I have a meal plan. It sits on my counter. And essentially what I told her is like, look, I am not going to track macros. I'm just not doing it. It's not something I have the desire to do anymore. I don't want to live in an app and be tracking a bite of this, a lick of that. I know what I need to do. And I'm also not trying to get shredded. So for the thing that I love about this fashion show, and I really hope that by doing this series, I inspire more women to do something outside of the box that isn't as big and like arduous as taking on a competition prep. This is still gonna be an act of really adhering to your goals, but it's not as intense, and I do not want to I'm not trying to get shredded. So my goal is to get probably to around 145. We've got 20 weeks. That means I want to lose probably about a half a pound per week. I know this week, this coming week, as I clean things up and whatnot, I'll probably drop a couple more pounds, but nonetheless at a nice even keel of about a half a pound per week. Okay, so that is my goal, is to get on stage and not be shredded, but also not, feel like yucky in my body. And that for me, that is just like bloated and just, all the things. And really just serve as sort of like an inspiration to those who either maybe have competed and they feel like they've lost their way, or they feel like they can't get their footing with like normal life. I feel you. I've been there. Or you've yo-yo dieted, or maybe you want to compete and it's very, very scary to you and you want to try something different. This is a nice little sort of in between. So I'm rambling, but I'm going to head into my local little gym here in my condo, in my complex. And today's Saturday, and I have a friend coming out for lunch, and then my boyfriend is taking me out, and we're gonna go do like a little getaway. So I'm gonna be eating some fun things. I'm not gonna super stress it. I will eat as the least amount of an asshole as I possibly can. But today is, I just shook up some BCAAs. What else do I have in here? I have BCAAs, creatine, and glutamine in here. I just keep that on lock, on continuous. You know, it's sort of a habit at this point. And I'm gonna just go and do some mobility stuff. I'm gonna do some mobility stuff because my body's a little sore, it's a little beat up, my low back is really stiff. I think I trained 3 days. It was very all over the place. It was very lackluster, and I'm definitely feeling really motivated to get back on a routine. I think this is gonna really help me as having a focus for the process, right? Which is bringing you guys along the way. So I am gonna head out there. I'm gonna do some mobility. I'll give you guys a sneak peek into my mobility routine, and let's do this. All right. Mobility things. Oh, God, my neck is awful, you guys. I have been going to the chiropractor, and I got a mobility assessment done by someone who does FRC, which is functional range conditioning, and I'm actually certified, but wanted somebody to kind of get their eyes on me. And apparently, I can't sit at a laptop for 14 hours. Who knew? So I just try to move through all of my joint range of motion, my major joint range of motions, because that's important. So I just kind of start slow, so my body can kind of warm up. I just did 20 minutes on the stairmill. Nice and sweaty, so it's a great time to work mobility. But I am just do a basic stretch, and then I like to go through. So bad, look at this. The goal is you can't go like this and hike the arm up out of that shoulder joint, so I'm like trying to, it's awful. It's years of just being stupid and not doing mobility and going into workouts cold and thinking, oh, you know, shape you're going, it's fine. I'm paying for it a little bit, you guys. All right, small forearm stretches. God. It's awful. We're gonna move through the hips and the ankles and the knees. So I'm gonna get a little bit of a knee circle, so I'm gonna kind of go in, out, and around. And go back the other way. And I'm just gonna floss that joint moving forward and back. This is one that I will do, kind of run through this before my workouts as well. Get a little spine twist and work on my thoracic spine rotation. And also this just really releases my low back, which is great. Then I will kick this leg out and then kind of sit back in that hip. All right, other side. It's reality. Okay, I'm gonna go into a little flossing of these joints, get the rust off. This actually feels really good once you start doing it. So I just lightly push on the outside of my knee, push inside, and then sit back. And I'm basically drawing just like a big circle with my knee. So good, because if you sit a lot, that hip socket, that hip joint, usually it's a little crusty. I'm gonna turn this way because there's no room over here. It's kind of the basics that I go. Actually, she's just barefoot, but we're gonna just flow.
looks nicer to be outside with you guys, but Livermore decided to sprinkle, so here we are. This is not what you want to do. Same way. Oh, spicy. This mat sucks. All right, you guys, I just finished up 20 minutes of cardio on the stair mill, and right now my primary focus with cardio is to not hate it. A lot of people want to do just cardio and not weight training because they think that's the key to their fat loss success, because they're sweaty and like they're doing something, and I'm like, boo, that's not how it works, okay? While yes, it is great to burn some calories, it's great for heart health and all that, it should not be your primary tool when it's time to lean out or for fat loss, right? So I'm using it right now because it's an adjunct to what I'm doing in terms of my mini cut, is what we're gonna call it. So I did 20 minutes and then I did some mobility and stretching, which I probably will add here in this video so you can see. And then one thing that I've been doing actually really consistently that I'm proud of myself, which is crazy because this was a normal day-to-day thing for me, was getting in over 10,000 steps a day. So I don't have a specific target right now per se. I just am trying to get 10K because if I don't get out and walk or aim to get steps, I will get like 3,000 a day. It's absolutely embarrassing. So that has been great. And so that's what I'm doing. And usually I come out here, and this is one thing I really will miss about my little place here in Livermore, is this walk. This hot girl walk, right? My hot girl walks have been instrumental in my just productivity, honestly, and really thinking through a lot of things when it comes to business and content and honestly my personal life. So this is what I love to do at least once per day, and weather permitting, I will get out multiple times a day. So I'm gonna enjoy my hot girl walk. I'm gonna enjoy these beautiful, they may look like weeds to the untrained eye, but they're pretty little flowers, and there's always something exciting that happens. And by exciting, I get to see my nature creatures, the creatures of nature, which are generally squirrels, rabbits. There's two birds that, well, I just think that they're my friends, but there are two birds that I usually see coming up here. I've named them, like I've named these little things because that's what you do when you live alone and you just kind of do things solo often, is you start naming shit, you know. So the animals, the creatures, they all have names. I'll see lizards, lots of birds, rabbits. It's kind of fun. But my hot girl walk path in Vegas is also super cute because I've already been to the house where I'm going to be living, and sort of the neighborhood I'm in is gated. It's super cute. There's a little trail. So you guys will get to see that soon. But all right, you guys, this is going to wrap up 20 weeks out workout things. If I can, I will get some food things here throughout the day, but I do have a giant grocery haul coming from Instacart because I have not had time to go to the grocery store, and usually Jack will go for me. He actually went a few days ago, but I'm out of a few things, and then I just decided I needed to shop for the whole week and grab some fun things. So I will show you those once that arrives, if I have battery left in my camera, and you can kind of see what I'm eating 20 weeks out. And I'm affectionately calling this journey to the fashion show my main character development program. Okay, and I'm gonna shout out to my son for that, because my youngest son and I were on a walk and we kind of came up with that, and it's kind of fun because I feel like as I'm moving to Vegas, as I'm shifting into this journey in my life in terms of moving, you know, clearly I've moved away from competing. I am excited for this new chapter, and I think moving to Vegas is going to be huge. It's going to push me outside my comfort zone. I'm really looking forward to that. And there are a lot of things I'd like to do to really grow my brand and my business and put myself out there even more so in Vegas. I mean, it is, after all, the entertainment capital of the world, and your girl loves to entertain. Whether I'm good at it or not, I don't know. Y'all tell me, but leave me some words of encouragement and love in the comments if you're watching. If you've watched this far, you're definitely a diehard, and yeah, I'll keep you informed along the journey as how things go. All right.